My name is Dr. Joseph Munyua. Today we are dealing with the research assumptions. It is almost needless to say that the researchers endeavor to use the terms the research hypothesis, the limitations of the study, and the research assumptions interchangeably can be irritating to their respective leaderships. In research, these three terms mean different things. Grammatically, the word assumption means a statement which is presumed to be true, often only temporarily or for a specific purpose. For that reason, in research, the term research assumptions means the specific things that the researchers and their respective leaderships accept as true or plausible. It is worth knowing that in many researches, one of the most common assumptions is the assumption of honesty and truthful responses. For instance, if the researcher is carrying out a qualitative study, such as the case study, the ethnography, the clouded theory, the phenomenology, and so on, he or she can formulate assumptions such as the research participants or respondents will honestly answer the interview questions. The inclusion criteria of the sample is appropriate, which means that the sample that is carefully selected is a representative of the whole population, and therefore the sample's responses will be reliable, and so forth. It is important to note that the research assumptions should not be carelessly stated. Certainly, creating the research assumptions should not be a haphazard activity. Indeed, the researcher should ensure that his or her assumptions are good assumptions. Good research assumptions are those that can be verified and logically justified. To that end, the researcher should seek to explain and therein give the reasons why his or her research assumptions are true or plausible. For instance, if the researcher is assuming that the research participants will provide honest responses to his or her questions, he or she may explain the data collection process and how he or she will preserve anonymity and confidentiality in order to maximize truthfulness. Therefore, the creation of the research assumptions should be a well calculated move. To take another example, let us consider the most common assumption in a research, which is usually the truthfulness with which the research participants will respond. In this case, if the involved questions are irritating, it is less plausible to assume honesty than in researches where the questions are friendly. Hence, towards making the aforesaid common assumption true or plausible, if possible, the researcher should, among other things, ensure that the asked questions are appropriate, enticing, catchy, and friendly. Obviously, in researches where the questions are irritating, the participants' honesty will be compromised. By the way, it is imperative to note that if, by its very nature, the involved study causes the participants' honesty to be compromised, that case should be inserted in the realm of the limitations of the study because it ceases to be part of the research assumptions. Definitely, the terms research assumptions and limitations of the study do not mean the same thing. Thank you for listening. Bye for now.